Hi, I'm Ernesto Juan from ZuDhan Productions, and today we are going to be talking about traveling from the US to Cuba. For some time I have this idea of having my own vlog, but I don't want to have just a vlog of my family or my private personal life. I'd rather have a vlog about something that could be interesting for the general public. And I'm Cuban. I've been living in Miami for the last 5 years, and I consider that what better idea to have a vlog than to have a vlog about Cuba. I've recently returned from a trip to Cuba, and I was surprised how many Americans were flying to Cuba. On my flight from Miami to Havana, there were only 5 Cubans on the plane. On the way back from Havana, there were only 3 Cubans on the plane. We are talking about over 200 passengers flying from the United States to Cuba. And when I was there, I was surprised how many things were going on. The Kardashians were filming one of their seasons there. The Fast and Furious 8 was being filmed there. The first cruise ship just sailing from Miami had just docked in Havana during those days. With probably 700 American passengers, only 7 or 9 were Cuban. The rest were American. What's going on in Cuba? Is Cuba becoming fashionable again after over 50 years? So yeah, can anybody travel to Cuba? Can any American just get on a plane and travel to Cuba? It is not that easy. I mean, even before the U.S.-Cuba relations were opened again last year, even before that, I was surprised how many Americans were traveling to Cuba. But now, by then you need a special license from the U.S. Treasury Department to travel to Cuba. Even though some Americans found a way to travel through Mexico or Cancun, and they didn't have their passport stamped, immigration in Havana or Cuba. But nowadays, you don't need a special license. Now you only have to fall on the 12 categories issued from the U.S. government, and these categories are family visit, official business, journalistic activities in Cuba, professional research, educational activities, religious activities. There are 12 categories. I'm not a specialist in traveling to Cuba, but I have this guy. I have a friend who was my student when I was a professor in Havana, and he has, here in Miami, he has a travel agency. His name is Orlando. I'm gonna give him a call and see if he's in the office. We could probably drop by and talk to him a little bit about how American citizens can travel to Cuba. Let's give him a call. His name is Orlando Consuegra, by the way. His travel agency is called Tocororo Travel. Tocororo is the national bird of Cuba. Very beautiful. Hey Orlando, how are you, buddy?
Good, how are you, Ernesto?
I'm good, man. Oh, the trip to Cuba was fantastic. Are you in the office right now?
Yeah, I'm here.
Can I come over for 5 or 10 minutes to talk a little bit about Cuba?
Of course. All right.
All right, see you in a bit, Orlando.
All right.
Bye. Orlando Consuegra, Tocororo Travel. I'm not endorsing his company. He's not paying me to say this, but it's probably the best travel agency to travel to Cuba in the whole world. Very serious guys. It's a family business, and yeah, let's go over to Orlando's office and talk a little bit about these 12 categories. 12 categories to travel to Cuba from the United States. See you in a bit.